All right, guys, we're gonna get underway pretty soon. The round isn't starting just yet, but I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's gonna be a good one. I love that playmat. That is a Lorraine Morabito original. Alex rocking it. Featured match. Yep. So yeah, we will be starting very soon with two very well-known players that I'm assuming you guys are all fairly familiar with. If I can type their names. Justin McBride versus Alec Ruden. This should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. Alec rocking new red Vegeta. I like that deck a lot. It was a deck to see that I was really excited to see do well at Worlds this past year. I can't wait to see what Alec has tweaked about it. But I'm looking forward to see it run pretty hard here right now. And then Justin running Red Ruthless Goku. Essentially a staple since basically since day 0 of the set 7 meta. And, you know, for the changes, the very minor tweak that Unleashed got kind of coming into this year's tournament play, like, that deck is still... It's still probably a little better than I wish it was. Like, Goku is just so good. But it certainly takes the sting out of, you know, turn 1 Unleashed Nightmare matches, so that's a good thing. But, you know, there's no reason not to run Ruthless Goku if it's a deck you feel comfortable with piloting. Again, another deck that had a really solid showing at Worlds. And before then, like, people had done really well with that in the Dragon Period. They did really well with it in the Last Chance qualifier. That deck is well proven. It is real good. So this should be an exciting match. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, we shall see. Shuffling up and getting ready to go. And again, this is going to be a very, you know, draws are going to be a big deal, but also, like, every action that each player chooses to make is going to be a big freaking deal. Like, all Alec wants to do is secure anger and slow Goku down from, you know, securing levels and pushing a ton of damage, and Justin basically just wants to completely maximize both his potential to level up and his potential to lower Alec's anger. So it's going to be probably a very pokey, you know, very, like, kind of feel out the flow of any given combat kind of match, but it could also a match that can easily just go completely off the rails when someone gets, like, a nightmarishly good hand. So we'll see what happens. All right, Justin turned first, and here we go. Well, there's your first turn Unleashed, folks. So, again, not quite the impact that it had, you know, pre-errata, but still an insane, like... I have no problem with him going in this turn if he wants to. Like, being at Goku level 2 immediately is incredible. And just another decent physical and, you know, a red card to boot on top of it for Goku draw. Confronting Alec. Let's see what we got. Devlo, Red Escape, and Enrage Blast. You know, that a good hand, but not the hand that, you know, I'm not sure what hand Alec could have gotten here that would have prepared him for first Unleashed Goku. That's just kind of how these things go, but it certainly wasn't that one. That is not discarded. Well, this will be the second time on a Michigan stream where somebody forgets to shuffle on a confrontation. But yeah, coming in for a, you know, a mid-range Vegeta poke. Justin setting up his top card by banishing unnecessarily for endurance. I like that a lot. And then, yeah, here we go. So it begins. Man, I'm not looking forward to this turn. Just like, it's still just so brutal. The first turn Unleash draw into, like, do a million actions. Like, oh, it's just so overwhelming. Goku does so much. So yeah, really this is just going to be like, hopefully Alec takes as little damage as possible, because this is all Justin's turn from this point on. Like, the things that are about to happen here just, they almost turn my stomach. Although, yeah, man, it's going to be real gross. Like, I'm not, Alec's weighing his options. Because so Alec here, his options are either, go for the mastery and hope it hits to do something else, or play the Enraged Blast, because he wants to cover up that, or, I guess Dev Blow would do it too, but you might want to hold on to that for a little anger, for anti-anger purposes. He wants to put life cards on top of that dig, because if Justin hits level 3 this combat, like, again, like, that's slightly dangerous, I guess, putting Vegeta up as well, but I'm pretty sure it would be well worth it for him to do that. That card doesn't have endurance. That's a much better card to have on top of Justin's discard pile, so I'm pretty sure Alec will take that no problem. Like, that couldn't have gone much better in terms of what sequence of things ended up in his discard. Justin will Goku up a Red Escape, which is just fine for Alec this turn at least. Now, again, we're talking, do nothing, mastery, or Dev Blow. Really, any of those options would be okay. But on some level, you kind of want to hold, like, I kind of want to see him hold the Dev Blow here just for a clutch, like, mess with Justin's discard pile even more as the turn evolves. But, like, I wouldn't hate using it either. We'll see what Alec chooses to do. He's certainly an exceptional, experienced player. Yeah, I like that pass. I agree with that play. Had he chose to throw it out, that would have been pretty much fine too, but I like that choice right there. Especially with Justin having basically a full hand and having taken like 3 or 4 actions this combat already. Power lift for a bunch. Seven in a life card. That's a lot of damage. Oh, that beautiful Earthball 7. Such a cool, weird card. And maybe the only Earthball that's ever seen serious play outside of certain versions of Namekian Gohan. But yeah, you can splash that card in any deck that doesn't happen to run Dragon Balls otherwise, and it's real good. Alec passing again. If he passed before, I definitely like that pass there. So, and again, hitting for a shitload. Now, there's still a distinct possibility that Alec will pass out and hold on to that Dev Blow just to use it for later. But if he's going to use it this turn, he'd be way more likely to use it now that Justin has already procced the Mastery. So he knows that something better isn't going to end up on the top of Justin's discard pile for him to reuse again this combat. And that was kind of the whole point of holding off on the Dev Blow. So yeah, here we go. A little chunk of anger. Banish some stuff. I'm assuming that dig is going to be long gone. Yep. That would have not been a thing that he would have wanted Justin draw into next combat with his Goku power, so... Trailing for 4. Plenty damage, but again, all that damage adds up, and Justin's torn through easily about a third of Alec's life deck this turn. Off of just a raw turn 1 draw, which is fucking brutal. There's a Mastery for anger and skip, but Alec's out of actions, so not really consequential there. And then anger 3, so that's not a terrible number of anger to have. We'll see what Alec lands on this turn. Uh, lighting's still not optimal. Our apologies, but again, like we're kind of at the mercy of the layout of the store at that point, but. All right, restriction, energy blast, and he's out. Don't hate that either. And again, like I'm not sure. Like Goku is so oppressive that Alec is basically like he's already backed into a corner, you know, from a first combat, like just the first 3. And look at that hand, like very defensive, but basically if Alec performs an energy attack, which seems pretty likely, Justin is going to run Rush Shot over him this turn. Red Goku, it's a hell of a thing. I think it's just Alec's stance, maybe also, and that like he has sit back from the table further than any player we've seen thus far. Which I like his. Gotta appreciate his level of chill in a match that is maybe not going as optimally as one would like. Because, yeah, Red Goku, man, it's a hell of a thing. I believe that was a Kamehameha that Justin will level through anyway. So, I mean, really, like that is just fine from Justin's perspective. Although I don't know that that's the way that sequencing works. I'm not sure the Red Escape should be on top of his discard pile, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, things are not great for Alec here. Again, Justin is already so far ahead, and now these reach Goku level 3. Like I almost, even at this relatively early stage of the game, I almost don't see a way out for Alec. Just like the amount of actions and damage and responses that Justin can generate being at Goku's higher levels versus Alec currently being stuck on Vegeta level 1. Like, it's going to be real rough. Like, if he pulls it out, it'll certainly be a testament to his ability as a player and his ability to probably draw pretty well at this point. And whiffing that mastery is not necessarily going to help him right now. So throwing that out straight up to crit. I like that play. Again, I'm not even sure how optimally Justin needs to play at this point because he's so far ahead, but that was certainly like every inch he denies Vegeta in terms of like his ability to slow him from leveling down means the world at this point. Like, if Alec doesn't leave level 1, there's no way he can win this game. So every anger matters. All right. Back to anger 3. So there's a second Vegeta power. We'll plink for a little damage, and we'll see what comes up. Well, again, pretty much any attack would have been something Alec didn't want to see. So that was an attack. Again, Goku can just generate so much advantage. And like Justin being locked at level 1. There's no way he can keep up, essentially. Like, that's how rough Goku can be, man. It's no fun. That power netted him a card draw and only did 9. And just like that, Alec's hopes almost completely dashed of winning this game, being stuck at 1 anger. Like, so yeah, Alec's gonna sit here and do nothing, and Justin's going to continue to run him over and maybe kill him this turn, honestly. Everything's going to be unpreventable after this hits. So, man. Only 12. Yeah, see, again, like, that's... You can tell that Goku is rough because there's really nothing for me to comment on at this point. Like, all I can say is that, you know, Alec will sit there and pray that he doesn't die. But there aren't really decisions that he can make at this point that are going to benefit, that, like, are increasing his ability to win. It's just like, oh, all right, I'll attempt to weather the storm. Alec perpetually locked at no anger. And we're out. But again, you know, Justin did a ton of damage and secured a level, and Alec has no stages and no anger, so that combat went the way that Justin wanted it to. And the way that, you know, like I said, even securing Goku level 2 is super dangerous, but once you go into 3, or especially turns like that where you pivot from 2 to 3, it generates so much ability to be flexible and be, you know, aggressive, defensive, whatever you need to be, but usually aggressive, that it's almost impossible to keep up, and is pretty much definitely impossible to keep up for the combat that it occurs in. Like, on the turn that Goku pivots, you're behind and you just have to hold on to your butt and pray. Alec's got a hand of stuff that is pretty inconsequential, a hand of expensive things that he doesn't have the power stages to afford. Yeah, man, it's rough out there. And Alec pretty much knows, like, it's... the writing is on the wall, so, you know, you don't want to forfeit a game when you're technically this early in, but, yeah, look at Justin's hand there. He has every good card in the game. And again, even if, you know, if Alec draws a time here and attacks he can respond with, like, that'd be cool, but it's not enough to win him this match. But he will restrict and draw into some stuff. Shut down a mastery there from Justin, that's not nothing. Gallic Gun and some other cruft that isn't going to quite make the cut. Alec contemplating life. I mean, he could technically check Justin's discard, but even aggressive actions, you know, like assuming Justin had no other defensive options. If Alec attacks into an escape, that's just the same trap all over again. So even throwing out an energy is supremely dangerous. But we'll get a Gallic Gun here, which will be stopped. Justin will take a minute, which I still don't blame him for, and I don't hate that pass. Like, I think that is A-okay, actually. You know, he's so far ahead that it seems very unlikely that it'll matter at this point, but I respect the shit out of Alec for fighting on. And technically, this combat will come out in his favor. Like, he'll net a little bit of anger. It doesn't look like Justin's going to push a super measurable amount of damage this turn. And then we'll see what, you know, Alec draws into. The other problem here being that, you know, Red Vegeta is a deck that lives and dies every single draw. It has no board to build, so every passive turn that Alec takes is essentially, you know, wasted time that he can't afford. So being behind early kind of puts him seriously behind for the entire game, so... Yeah, all those passes are not incorrect necessarily, but, you know, each one puts him a little bit closer to losing the game. And Justin will just go in and throw the dig, which, you know, that's going to hit for 6-ish unpreventable life cards clean if it goes through, which is a lot of damage. Nope. Yeah, that's not how that works. All right. And we're leveling. So, you know, again, Alec technically, at some stage of the game, he would have been better off at level 2, but having Goku go up again also, and locking into level 3 for a second time for another both attack from level 3 and, you know, he'll draw the dig back, or I'm not sure what the bottom card of his discard pile is, but again, he's just got so many options. He can do so many actions. It kind of doesn't even matter what they are. Just as long as he's doing stuff and pushing damage, he's doing more things than Alec can do in a given turn. And that's what Goku does. It's not the funnest thing to stare down, you know, either across the table from you in a match or from a commentary perspective, watching games from the sidelines. Alec's thinking real hard, just looking for any even beneficial maneuver he can make. Because he did do the restrictions, so he can't use Vegeta power, he can't mastery. He can't do anything else that's not an attack or a pass. Justin can't mastery for 2 reasons. I don't believe he has a red card, and then also restriction is on. But Justin does Goku 3 to draw another card, so he can get that dig back if nothing else. He can get the bottom. Goku 3 is going to do about 6 life cards of damage, it looks like. Alec has about 6 life cards left. It's a rough position, man. Goku too good. All right. There's a final flash, which if stopped, he could use it again. Justin passed out there. I'm not sure if he knew that Alec had a physical block or just neglected to use Goku 3. But in any case, Alec looks like he's got an escape, some other stuff, physical, and we're going in. I would guess. Yeah, 6 cards exactly after that draw, so not a ton of options. Rifle through some piles. Again, Alec just wishing that he had more options at this point, because Vegeta can still be dangerous, but I just don't think he can be quite dangerous enough to put Justin out of this game. Like, I just don't see it happening. Justin has a Kaioken on top and an escape on the bottom. So again, a ton of options, though. The world is his oyster to some extent. Going in, a handful of attacks, and a confrontation. So, you know, all of that is probably good enough. Even has that energy to mix up with the physicals, so he can throw one attack of each type. Like I said, it's hard for me to... I'm trying to think of what else I can add to the proceedings here, but it's just... he got ahead early and went off in such a way that... looks like 25, 26. That's a lot of cards. Like Vegeta, like I said, it's the sad thing here is that Vegeta's damage output is so good that like it's not really impossible that Alec could kill him, and he could still win this game ultimately. But it's just such a climb, like it's such an uphill battle that I don't think it's going to happen. But we'll see. And Justin's next action actually kind of matters a lot here, relative to what Alec might be packing. Because if Justin chooses to confront, you know, that you would feel like that's the safe play, but simply truly putting the hammer down on stage pressure here might be the correct option. Like, it takes a little intuiting and kind of a, like maybe a solid pile check and then a good hunch that's going to be the thing that'll put Alec out of this game, but I could definitely see that being the correct play for sure. There you go. Physical attack. Yeah, Alec was essentially debating there, trying to decide what he would want to do if he assumed Justin had the confrontation, and in fact, Justin had the confrontation. But, yeah, again, I don't know that there was... especially with the confrontation in hand, I don't know that there was a path to victory for him here. Certainly not in this turn. Alec's at 6 cards right now, so a shuffle would put putting a card back in would put him at 7. If Justin chooses not to take blinding any blindings, then Alec will be at 5. 5 with a very limited set of cards available to him with which to attempt to pull out a victory. Yeah, I think that's 100% the right play. Knowing that Alec is out of attacks, knowing that he can only stop one physical, and really the only thing that gives Alec anything, which I don't know that would tilt the flow of things here in this combat currently regardless, would be, you know, Red escaping up to end combat that way. So all Justin should be doing right now is just throwing physicals until Alec cannot take damage. Just do physical attacks until he falls over dead. Alec Masteries for Anger. Justin or Alec will stop that one, knowing that that it would be confronted away either way. In fact, now, you know, that sequencing is fine, I suppose. I wouldn't have even necessarily done that. If he had just thrown enough physicals, I think that also would have taken care of things. But, you know, whatever. That's just fine. I believe that is 3 cards exactly. It might be 4. But anyway, in any case, that'll do 2 life cards. Oh, that was a rough game to watch. I'm not going to lie. That was not pretty. That's the way Goku matches go. And then again, you know, Ruthless Goku specifically, it's really hard to say which one is better. Blue Goku is certainly more ludicrous when you actually hit 4, what with looping, you know, blue terrors and whatnot. But I feel like Ruthless is better early game, which is probably the thing you would really want anyway, more often than not. Because the Ruthless build also probably wins late game too. Not quite in the same way as blue might, but just the capabilities that Ruthless Goku has to go off in completely unbelievable combats at any point in the game are just something else. Like, truly staggering. And yeah, that was a pure, like I said, it's hard for me to, you hate to see players like Alec have things like that happen to them, because I can't really criticize anything about, the minimal amount of decisions that he got to make. I suppose he probably made them correctly, but there was so little deciding to do that at some point it was just, real rough to watch. Ugh. All right. Hey, everybody. So yeah, that is round 3. Certainly not my favorite of the matches we've seen so far, but it is what it is. So, hang tight. We'll be back with round 4. It'll probably be a little bit, like I think we're maybe a little over halfway through the round, maybe not even that far. So, hi, Jason. Yeah, I'm gonna put things back on autopilot here for a little bit. But don't go anywhere for long. I bet we'll have a new round for you in like 20-ish minutes or so. So stick around, and we'll see you for round 4 in a little bit.